Welcome to the free to play account. I'm so glad you're back for another episode of this, and we have qualifying coming up for the Australia Origin Series event, and then a opening round and final round as long as we get there. We've got Danny Rick at level 4 and Nicholas Latifi level 4 as well for this qualifying session, and this is the car that we're running. So a 926 team score in Contender is pretty low, but by God, we're going to give it a go. We've got 87 points so far, so hopefully we can get another solid race and get through in this qualifying session. So let's get into it with our first qualifying race to show you. So qualifying round comes from Imola in Italy, and can we finish off with this one race showing you some decent scores? We've got a wet qualifying for race 4, and let's see where that projects us in the field. However, usually we start at the back, and guess what? P20 and P22 for Nicholas Latifi and Daniel Ricciardo, and that shows you how tough that Imola really is and how tough it is in Contender at the moment when you're such a low team score. But we're managing. So we're going to do an undercut on Latifi and do probably a 4-4 with Daniel Ricciardo and try and steal a few points. And can we get a good start? Latifi up to P19 with the boost launch. Danny Rick P20, and these two now fight it out through the first couple of corners. And Latifi looking at a move on Lance Stroll. Can he go up the inside? No, he can't. Danny Rick has a look, and he moves into P19. So a bit of team orders to play here, and sadly, Danny Rick loses out massively. That one team order sends us back pretty much 2 positions, nearly 3. So that's really cost us there as we settle down into this race. We're going to do probably a lap 2 pit stop with Latifi. Try and do a little bit of an undercut. We've got to get some points, so we have got to take the risk, and we're not going to boost too much at the moment. And yes, we're going to bring in Latifi this time for some medium tyres. We're not going to basically service. We want to get through and out as quick as possible. We've got Ricciardo in P22 currently holding up the field. Well, field, I mean 2 drivers. Not exactly the field, is it? But he's holding up someone. And now Latifi coming through to start his pit stop, and he is in. So hopefully he's the only one. Rival's in as well. Can we get ahead of the rival? We're not doing servicing. Long pit stop though, and we're not ahead. We could have done with really getting ahead of that rival as we come back out. Now Danny Rick will start to boost from here, and he's got one more lap to do before he comes in for his second set of hard compound tyres. And Latifi hopefully will be doing the undercut. He's already passed the rival in P23. And now can we get through? So Danny Rick will be coming in this lap for some hards, and he's jumped up to P12 with the pit stops. And let's look at Latifi. Latifi all the way past Tsunoda, now into P17. That is a good move, so hopefully we can keep this going and get a few more places on the next lap with Latifi. Ricciardo is about to come in for some new boots on that ASW car. And Latifi all the way up into 16th now, has a move on Verstappen, gets blocked. Verstappen on the hard tyres running out, and Ricciardo is in. Latifi will go around for one more lap, and some more mediums will be going on, and he's into P12, Nicholas Latifi. Danny Rick comes out the pits. Can he hold off Latifi? He can. And it's so tough in Contender, so tough at the minute for these drivers being such low levels. We could really do with some massive improvements. 34 degrees out there, so some hot weather to handle as well. And now Latifi will be coming in for some mediums. Danny Rick in P21, holding up the soft tyre of Max Verstappen. And he comes down the straight. We're still going to try and conserve. We can't really match too much, but we'll keep as close as we can to the rival. And we are P20 and P23. I mean, we need to seriously make up some positions if we're going to have any chance of scoring about more than 10 points. Because at the minute, doesn't look great at all. And we've got 2 laps to go. We need some pit stops, and we're getting it. It's a few into the pits then, and Ricciardo bounces through up into P15. Latifi now P17 gets past Vettel, and hopefully there's a couple more pit stops on this last lap, and there might be a few hard tyres potentially coming in, but we're about to find out. Latifi low on fuel, Ricciardo not got the best tyres, so we're really pushing all of our basically effort here. And Ricciardo round into P12. Can he get P11? Not quite, and is conserving now. And team orders is going to come and bite us in the cheek again. And sadly, we lost out massively there, again like we did on the first lap, because of team orders. But P14 and P15 for both drivers. And that should be hopefully home and hosed. We make up some ground from the back. It's only P14 and 15, but that's all we could manage. And both drivers will now come across the line. And luckily, Ricciardo just holds off, and we do score 21 points in the first race. We have indeed made it to opening round. We've got another Italian track for you this time, and it is Monza, which is up in race number 7. And obviously the reason we're showing you race number 7 is hopefully that we can finish off with race number 8 in tomorrow's final round. So we've got Seb Vettel and Nicholas Latifi and P18, P19, and luckily from the pit pass series sort of like up to basically series 10, we had a chance and we opened a crate on the free pit pass and we got Seb Vettel, so a massive pull, but still he's too low level at the minute and he's still starting near the back. I was hoping he would finish mid-pack for qualifying, but we've only managed 1 or 2 places up the field. So Lumberjack for the overtaking and speed, Warrior for the overtaking and a bit of fuel, and we're going to try our best to get through the pack. And Vettel gets a decent start, P19. Latifi making moves up the inside. Can he keep that position? That would be very nice, and we'll take it. P17 and P18 through the first part of this track, and everything now settles down to get a bit of mayhem here, and we just hold on with Seb Vettel into P18. So Latifi going with the softs, Vettel playing the hard game of doing a 4-4, and Latifi will either do a 2 laps or we'll do 3, and we'll see how it is first of all. And we just want to try and keep these places round the last corner, and that we can. And we'll cut down, and hopefully they can't dive past, which they can't, and we remain P17 and P18. And we potentially could look at an undercut with Latifi. I mean, there's a few soft tyres around, but it's just whether or not it would work. And we're going to find out. We either go long or we go short. And Vettel loses a spot to Tsunoda there. And we can do 3 laps with Latifi. And Vettel, because of them hard tyres, under pressure as he comes down the home straight and moves to P16 with the pit stops. And Latifi P13 now. P13 for Latifi, out qualifying Vettel, who Vettel's got a lot, I'd say, decent overall stats compared to Latifi. But hopefully it doesn't matter. We can start to look at boosting Vettel through to a final 4th lap on these tyres. Latifi coming into the pits now, going for the mediums, so we're going to push for a few laps. We've got the fuel to do so. Vettel will come down the home straight and we'll get into P12 with Valtteri Bottas just ahead. Nicholas Latifi coming out right at the back in P22. So we are just going to hold fire. We don't need to push this part. We can't really overtake. And now Vettel looks at a move on the Alfa Romeo. Can't get the job done through there. And we'll be coming into the pits for some fresh boots. We'll boost Latifi. See if we can't get him past down the straight. He's quite far away though. Round the last corner. And Vettel now coming out will be behind Latifi, who moves up to P16. We'll cut down again because we can't overtake really through this section. Very low chance. And as we move forward, can Latifi start a comeback? He's going to drop back when he pits again. And we'll start to boost with both drivers just to close the gap on any people pitting. And now around there. So Latifi, good entry and exit. And can we get through any more down this straight? Any more pit stops? There's a couple. And Latifi moves up P13. Has a look on Tsunoda. Can't get the job done. And we'll cut down both drivers through here. So softs it will be. We'll be fast at the end. With Latifi. Plenty of fuel left as well. It's so hard with the tyres to use so much fuel as well. And he will come through for a fast finish, hopefully. And with that warrior boost with a bit of overtaking, hopefully he can get through. A few people pitting, so let's get Vettel through as well, down the straight. Can he get past Vettel himself? Has a look down the inside, gets squeezed out. Tries again, but can't, and he's down P13. Latifi out in P21. So we are still trying to rescue some more points here. We're doing okay though. There could still be some last lap or last before lap pit stops on lap 7. As Vettel now starts to fly. Come on, just a few more positions would do absolutely lovely. And there's a position from Nicholas Latifi on the softs. He's absolutely flying. Tyres are not our friend here, but Vettel's up to P9. And what about Latifi on the softs now? P16, having a look at Tsunoda. Still can't get past. There's a move though, Latifi. And Latifi is through into P15. Vettel very low on tyres. Loads of soft tyres around us, so we're not really going to catch anybody now. So hopefully let's cruise to the end. Can Latifi get any more moves though done? He's right behind Ricciardo. And he's looking for a move on Gasly. Can we do it? Sadly not. And it is P15. But it is a very solid 26 points from race number 7. Bad matchup as well. So we did our very best. So let's quickly show you where we are after 7 races in Contender. And we are P49, 164 points. So let's start final round. We made it through. And we are, after 7 races, 193 points. It's been very tough from the back of the grid, but we are doing our very best. What are we running? Well, we're running Seb Vettel and Nicholas Latifi. We've got Vettel up to P2 after some grind, and we got him through the pit pass free section, and you can see the crate bundle 4 to 10. And luckily we got Seb Vettel through there, which was nice and beautiful. So, we are in final round. We've got another bad matchup, over 90 behind the rival. And we are in France. Bonjour for the final race of this weekend. Can we get a good finish? I'd take top 50, if I'm honest, with this team score. We should really be playing with over 1,000 team score. And we would be starting P13, P16. But instead, P18 and P20. A lot more grinding, that is for sure, to do on this account. But we are finishing in Contender, which is massive for us. So, hard tyres with a lumberjack going on. And we haven't got major boost, so we're going for a Jin on the hard tyres as well. Probably a bad idea, actually, because I reckon I'm going to double stack these. And it's going to cost us massively. I probably should have split the strategy. But let's see. Can Seb Vettel get a great start? What about Latifi as well? And Vettel up to P17, Latifi P18, both having a look at Valtteri Bottas. And Vettel takes to the outside, gets the move nearly done, but Latifi comes back up the inside and does get one position. So it's P17 and P18. It looks like it's definitely going to be double stack day in France. And there's a move on the rival by Sebastian Vettel. Great move. Latifi says I'll have a look at that as well. But these soft tyres, there's no point me even fighting it at this stage. We're just going to cut down and try and conserve tyres and fuel. And then we can do a good, probably 3-lap push overall. Sort of 1.5 laps per sort of strategic way of doing it. So that's what we're going to hope for. For this track, I'd love a bit of speed boost. And I've got a lumberjack on there as well. No dead fast or anything like that. So I've had to use probably some gin, which I didn't really want to use. It's certainly one that I could still use to the end of the race. But we are P17 and 18. Looking for a strong finish against a tough rival. And we are going to try and do a nice comfortable 4-4. And see if we can just overcut a few rivals. Take 8 seconds less in the pits. Because we're doing one stop. And hopefully that moves us up the field. So after lap 2, we are up to P15 and P16. I think there is absolutely 100% certainty that we double stack here. Bad move by me. That is not what we wanted. Not what. That's great language by myself, has it? But can we just finish off with a strong showing? There's going to be so much grinding needs to be done. But it shows it's possible. This is what I want to bring you. I want to bring you races where it shows you that you can finish in Contender after like 6, 7, 8 GPs, and you can be running nearly 1,000 team score and trying to compete. So it is possible. You've just got to be there and put in the work. As we get Seb Vettel P9 and Latifi P12. So we've got a good, 3-second gap between them. So, I mean, it's only 4 seconds that they're going to lose. And Vettel up to P8. We've caught up the rival. And we're just going to try and push one little bit more. And we're right behind now. Good move up the inside, though. And we do get ahead of the running out of tyres Latifi, who now does gets held up by the Mercedes. So that should give us a big chance to get out first. Surely we've got to get out of the rival. We're going to get, a good 3 seconds. And, wow, how did the rival beat us? He can't have done servicing, surely. But we are out P14. So worst case scenario, maybe P14 on the cards. And P22, we need to get Latifi up. And then we'll boost down the straight. And off we go. Lumberjack, great for the straights here in France. And we'll look. Quite a few hard tyres out in front of us as well. So it's all going to be up against it in the final race. Every point matters for a finishing position. Can we try and scrape something together? As Vettel still no pit stops that time. And Latifi does take a couple though who are pitting. And that is Latifi up to P21. Wow. We're so far at the back. But we'll boost again down the straight with Sebastian. And we'll close the gap now to the rival who's pitting from P12. Using the soft tyres, I didn't think that was the right call. He's going to lose another 6-7 seconds at least in the pits now when that rival does pit. And can we get 2 laps to go any higher? Vettel comes down the home straight into P12. What about Latifi? Few people pit ahead. And we are P17. So just trying to eke out these tyres, and we'll start to boost very shortly. And in fact, we'll do that with both of them from about here. And hopefully, and there we go, Latifi failed a component. I thought that might be the case later on in the race. And it certainly is now. And Seb Vettel coming round. Latifi will make that position up against the rival. And we've got 1 lap to go. And we are up to P9 with Seb Vettel. What about Latifi? Can he get any further up the field? And we are up to P13. So we're making moves. 28 points. I'll take that. A lot of soft tyres around us. So it's going to be very tricky to overtake anyone. And we are running out of tyres as well. Can we just cross the line in a solid position here with a P9 position and a P13? Tyres and fuel coming down, but Vettel will cross the line for a P9, and Nicholas Latifi holds on to P13, and we will take a good solid 28 points from the final race in France. And I'll be happy with 28 points every race if I could get it. And let's see where that potentially finishes us this weekend. A very enjoyable but difficult weekend on the free-to-play account. And let's see, as we head back, where we look like we potentially could finish. And that position does look like it will be as we come back. Come on, be a nice tidy finish. I haven't got a clue where it's going to be. You're going to see this for the first time, as I am. And in Contender, we currently sit P39. So we're inside the top 50, and it is now all down to rewards to hopefully get something good from up to Series 9. And you can see overall, very difficult weekend indeed. After all of the fighting, all of the battles on track, Hazard WF1 on the free-to-play account has finished 47th in the Australia event in Contender. So I am very happy with the finish. We couldn't get a 20th place or whatever it was like last week. However, there was a big boost on the driver, which we had available. So 47 out of 100. The most important thing is we got through to the final round, and we can now hopefully pull something decent from a crate. So we get the F medal, the finalist Contender medal to add to our collection. We get 4,400 rep points for ASW F1 Army, 582k, which is very nice indeed. And then we get some boosts as well, so Street Sharp 21, which will be decent coming forward. We get some Sonoda, some Kevin Magnussen, Daniel Ricciardo, Charles Leclerc. We get some Blitz, 14 of them. We get 42 Guan Yu. And here we go. It's epic time. What can we get? Come on. Here we go. Oh, no way. Mick Schumacher. That's not what we wanted. We definitely didn't want that, such a low series driver. But most importantly, we got through. And look at that for a winning. That's how much I grinded this week. 110 million this week. And we are up to Super Champion. We've got a legendary crate to open, having finished first. And we'll skip through for the main ones. We'll get some Russell, Alex Albon, Nicholas Latifi in here. And what about the epics? We get some Quicksilver and some Alex Albon. I'll take that. 15 Alex Albon. That is happy days on that. And then we've just got some rewards to claim to finish off this video. So some Clog and Crunch. What can we get from here? Oh, I wish I had that Leviathan, but obviously we are free to play, so we won't be getting that. But I hope you've enjoyed the free-to-play account this week. We pushed it as hard as we can, and we did finish in the top 50 in the end. So make sure you join back next week as we take on Contender again, and hopefully we can secure a better finish.